Ghost of Tsushima was a magical experience when I first played it. That opening scene transition into gameplay, the part where you gallop into this gorgeous field for the first time. I was left breathless then, and now the game's director's cut released on PC, and it might be the ultimate and definitive way to play it. Hi, I'm Cobble, and I recently got a new PC. Now, admittedly, the first thing I did was boot up Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart because I'm a teensy tiny little bitty bit a huge Ratchet & Clank fan. It was the first time I could play it on full settings with ray tracing, and I loved it. The week after, Ghost of Tsushima released on PC, and I knew that I had to jump in immediately because Ghost of Tsushima is honestly one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 5. By the way, thank you to PlayStation for sending me a code for this because I am overjoyed with the experience in Ghost of Tsushima on PC. In Ghost of Tsushima, you play as Jin Sakai, an honorable samurai warrior who is forced to take a new path as Tsushima Island burns in the wake of the first wave of a Mongol assault. Jin is resolved to do whatever it takes to bring down Khotun Khan, the cunning Mongol general, to bring back freedom to Tsushima. The game is made by Sucker Punch Studios, who you may know from the Sly Cooper games. Please give me a Sly 5 somehow. Please, I beg of you. And the infamous games, of course, which honestly, I wouldn't mind a new installment of either. That's about everything you should know to know that this game is an absolute hit. Naturally, this game has everything the PlayStation 4 and 5 versions had. The jaw-droppingly beautiful feudal Japan setting, the silky smooth combat, the satisfying stealth, the lush characters, and a thrilling story. But I do have to say, utilizing PC hardware, that is, if you have a great system of course, it genuinely soars to new heights. Now, about the story, I've heard plenty of people say that the story was the weakest part of this game, but I genuinely have to disagree. Just because it's a relatively simple story on the surface doesn't mean it's a weak one. Yes, the narrative is straightforward on the surface, but there's much more going on beneath that, and the way it's executed makes sure it doesn't fail even remotely in my eyes. The samurai in this game have an incredible sense of honor, and it's that honor that Khotun Khan exploits as a weakness, because his Mongol army doesn't abide by any code. That's how they wipe out the samurai and occupy Tsushima, forcing Jin Sakai to see how he cannot possibly retake his home without breaking his code is a really clever way of advancing the story forward. But it also allows for opening up the gameplay possibilities in a way that doesn't oppose that sense of honor that Jin feels like he needs to uphold. Alongside that, while the overarching story is home under attack, we need to take it back, the game uses that framework to service its side characters, creating satisfying conflicts and resolutions throughout the game as the player explores and plays through it. That being said, how does the game run on PC? Well, in my experience, I have to say, it runs butter smooth. I don't know what kind of sorcery they're practicing over at Nixxes, the studio who ported the game to PC, but they can keep doing it. They did a stellar job porting this game to PC, as they have with the many PC ports they now have under their belt. Both Forbidden West and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart run amazing on PC, and the same counts for the Spider-Man games. I'm so happy Ghost of Tsushima is the same in that regard. With this PC port also comes support for ultra-wide. Now, I unfortunately don't have an ultra-wide monitor, but my brother does, and I begged him to play it on his system, and I think I need an ultra-wide monitor myself now. Playing this game in ultrawide was nothing short of epic and magical, and my wallet is already begging me not to empty out its insides. Ghost of Tsushima has quite literally never looked better. Of course, there's still a couple of visual bugs, and they really, and I mean really, love their sweat drip particles, but it genuinely looks out of this world gorgeous to the point where you could just travel through the landscape and still have a fulfilling experience. I also appreciate the PlayStation 5 controller support for this, with full haptic feedback and adaptive trigger support. However, the mouse and keyboard controls, which they made fully remappable, very much appreciated, play great as well. Alongside its fantastic single-player experience, this game also has a co-op multiplayer mode, which I confess I haven't played yet. However, I intend to jump into this with some friends soon. I think I speak for many people when I say that the future looks bright for Sucker Punch Productions. They're great at what they do, and they're clearly passionate about the games they make. I've heard some people criticize them for not making another Sly game. Hell, I kind of did earlier in the video, but if you look closer at this game, you can see all the things they learned from their previous titles. And honestly, there's a good amount of Sly Cooper that shines through in this game. I would genuinely love a new Sly game from Sucker Punch, obviously, but if they ever do, I want them to do it because their heart is in it. Because you don't make a game as good, as great as Ghost of Tsushima if you're not passionate about it. Whatever they make next, whether it's Sly, Infamous, a Ghost of Tsushima sequel, or something new, I will be there, eager to play the next thing. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what your experience with Ghost of Tsushima is, on PC or otherwise, and see you in the next one.